Good afternoon. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Owl. I am the owner of the Rusty Lake Hotel. Oh, look, the guests are arriving. They all have their own reasons to be here. And I have my own reasons to let them stay. We will be having 5 dinners. Make sure everyone is worth dying for. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful week. Let's make some memories. Hello. Have a look at my portrait. There we are. The last dinner. Thank you for all the memories. And Harvey, I'm really glad you brought the cigars. The lake will be grateful. Take a look at the black cubes, would you? The memories are not only the key to the past, but also to the future. Have a look